Hello, my name is Tony Pare, and since this past November, I am the Chief Executive Officer at BioPorto. BioPorto is a Danish-headquartered but truly global company engaged in vitro diagnostics. We use our extensive expertise in antibody development and our platform for assay development to create a pipeline of diagnostic tests focused on diseases where there is a significant unmet medical need. Before I joined BioPorto, I was impressed with the company's value proposition to address significant unmet need for patients in critical care. I was impressed with its technology and its relentless focus on providing physicians and patients with better, faster diagnostic tests. Over the past 3 months, I have met with nephrology and critical care doctors at hospitals in New York, Boston, Cincinnati, and Chicago. From those meetings, I was overwhelmed by their expressed desire to get the NGAL test onto the market because they said it can help save lives. Based on their feedback, my belief in the potential success for BioPorto is even stronger. NGAL as a biomarker is well published and known by nephrology clinical community as a biomarker of early stage acute kidney injury, or AKI. Unfortunately, there's no access to an assay that can easily be used by chemistry and core laboratories in hospitals. Our plan is to drive BioPorto's success with our flagship product, the NGAL test, which sits at the center of our strategy to address what we estimate as a $3 billion global market opportunity in assessing kidney health in critical care settings. We are currently enrolling pediatric patients at top children's hospitals across the U.S. for the clinical study, which will support a submission to the U.S. FDA for approval of the NGAL test for diagnosis of AKI in children under 22 using a specific chemistry analyzer. The NGAL test is designed to aid in the risk assessment of AKI, a common clinical syndrome where kidney progresses from injury to functional loss in filtering waste products and toxins from blood. It can have severe consequences if diagnosed too late, including chronic kidney disease, kidney failure, and mortality. With the aid of the NGAL test, doctors can identify patients potentially at risk of AKI earlier than is possible with current standard of care measurements. That earlier diagnostic information can help doctors adjust treatment or medications to avoid acute kidney injury rather than detecting it after the damage from AKI has occurred. The NGAL test is already CE marked for adults and marketed in Europe and several other geographies through BioPorto's distribution partners. Our current focus is on gaining FDA approvals and then driving adoption of the NGAL test in the U.S., which is the largest market for in vitro diagnostics in the world. To do so requires the approval from the U.S. FDA, and our focus is hence on preparing a de novo submission for FDA review, which will include an indication for use in children under the age of 22 years old using a specific chemistry analyzer. This potential pediatric application was granted breakthrough status by the FDA, which gives it a higher priority in the FDA's review and approval process. We expect to finalize enrollment for the second part of our clinical study, which is going on now in the first half of 2022. And then after the clinical analysis and report is complete, we will submit a de novo application to the FDA and hopefully gain approval, allowing us to commercialize the test in the U.S. In addition, we are currently developing our clinical and regulatory approach to expand indications of the NGAL test in adult populations in the U.S. using additional clinical chemistry analyzers. We anticipate that the first approval in pediatrics makes subsequent applications for FDA clearance easier. We are also progressing on other assay investigations to fill our product pipeline. These include an assay for thrombomodulin as a marker for endothelial damage as a result of septic shock, myocardial infarction, acute respiratory distress syndrome, and COVID-19. As a company, BioPorto is at a very important inflection point. We are better prepared than ever to complete and submit a very important submission to the FDA on our lead product, the NGAL test, and we have a portfolio of additional opportunities to leverage. We have a talented and focused organization, and I have a lot of confidence in our team. To further advance our position and the implementation of our strategy, we are offering new shares with a preemptive subscription for our loyal shareholder base. Of course, new investors are welcome to participate by buying preemptive rights or applying for subscription of remaining shares. In total, we are offering new shares with gross proceeds of up to 100 million kroner. The proceeds from the offering will, together with our existing cash position, be used for working capital, operating expenses, and to undertake the committed and planned investments and activities, including the clinical trial and application to the FDA for approval of the NGAL test. You can learn more about the offering at our website, www.bioporto.com, where you can find the prospectus, which you should read prior to participating in the offering. It describes BioPorto and the offering, including the risk associated with it. And you can watch a video by our Chief Financial Officer, Neil Goldman, further describing the offering of the new shares. I thank you very much in your interest in BioPorto. Thank you.